Okay, in this video we're going to talk about the dative case, right?
Yeah, the third case in our series of cases.
Okay, Lucas, when do we use the dative case?
Well, yesterday we were talking about the accusative case.
Mm-hmm.
The accusative case is the case that we use to mark the direct object of a transitive verb.
Yeah.
And now the dative...
I see you, and then you was the direct object.
Correct, and now dative is the indirect object.
Yes. So, I think we need an example sentence.
Let's go for examples. The verb to give.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you use the verb to give, you need a direct object and an indirect object. For example, I gave an apple to you.
Mm-hmm.
So the apple will be the object that I gave to you.
It's a direct object.
That's the accusative.
Yeah.
And to you is the indirect object.
Yes. So we have to use the case for to you. We have to
you.
use the dative case for to you because
Yeah.
because to you is the indirect object here.
Correct.
Well, so basically you use the dative case when you give something to someone.
Correct. Yes. So you, as the giver, is the subject of the sentence. You are in the nominative case.
Mm-hmm.
Then the thing that you give is in the accusative case, and the thing and the person to whom you give the object is in the dative case.
So I give a phone to you, to him, to them.
Yeah.
It's all dative case.
Correct.
So I give a book to you in German, for example.
Yeah. So
Ich gebe.
yeah. So the word you in German is du. And then in the dative case, du becomes dir.
Ich gebe dir das Buch.
Correct, yes.
And the same thing in German, in Russian, right? You is ты.
And then in the dative case, ты becomes тебе.
Тебе.
Yeah, so I give the book to you. Я даю книгу тебе.
Yeah. Are there more cases when we use dative case? So one is, and I think this is the most important one, when you give something to someone else. I think there are a few more situations when we use dative case in Russian, maybe in German as well. I don't know.
Well, yes, and that also has to do with prepositions. Now, after each preposition, you need to use a specific case.
Okay.
Like, for example, in German, the preposition mit is always mit and the dative.
Okay.
So, for example, if I want to say I work with you, it will be the same thing. Ich arbeite not mit du, because du is a nominative.
Yes.
Yeah, mit dir. Dir is the dative form of you.
So even though you are not giving something to someone else, you use dir because it's you use mit.
Yeah, because of the
preposition.
No.
And you have this in Russian as well.
Yes.
So for which preposition in Russian do you need the dative case?
For example, the preposition k, which means basically towards someone or something. So, for example, if you say that you are going to see the doctor, you are going towards the doctor. You have to use the preposition k, and then the word врач becomes врачу. So я иду к врачу.
Because of the preposition again.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically we can say that in any language, if you give something to someone else, you have to use the dative case.
Yes, of course there are some exceptions, but for Russian, Polish, well, basically for all Slavic languages, for all the Germanic languages, yeah, if you're giving an object to someone, this to a person will be in the dative case.
Okay, well, I think that's the easiest way to remember when you need to use the dative case. That was it. What's the next case we're going to discuss?
The next case we're going to discuss is the genitive case.
Genitive case. Stay tuned.